Recently I recorded a couple of videos where I used teams from the CloverBells YouTube channel featuring Johto legendary Pokemon, first Entei and more recently Ho-Oh. And both of those lettering sessions didn't go super well, but I don't think it was the teams. I think it was me. I was playing tired and kind of rusty, and also the best of one ladder is just a very weird place sometimes. And I think there was a fair bit of luck both ways in the Ho-Oh video over the course of those few battles. In any case, soon after I had finished recording with Ho-Oh, CloverBells went and dropped a video where he built 3 different Regulation G teams with Lugia. So I thought, you know what? If CloverBells Gold version didn't work out for me, then let's see how CloverBells Silver version goes. I was a Silver version kid. That was my first Pokemon game. I already made a silly Lugia team myself recently and had some fun with it. But let's try his 3 teams out and see if they work out better for me than the Ho-Oh one. So, CloverBells has a video, I believe, titled Let's Team Build with Lugia, something like that, where he makes these 3 teams and goes through the choices that he made. You can and should go watch that, especially since I'm using so many of his teams lately on this channel. But we're going to go through each of them. The first team here, it pairs Calm Mind Lugia with Comfey for healing and for helping hand support, because as we saw in my last Lugia video, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage even if it's boosted, so it can use that kind of support. It can also use the pairing with Chi-Yu, and then he just rounded it out to a Fire, Water, Grass core. He's got Rillaboom and Urshifu, and then Raging Bolt is just a really solid glue Pokemon to cover a lot of bases. Plus, Raging Bolt can pair well with Chi-Yu for extra damage, or with Helping Hand Comfey, and it gives him a little bit more speed control to go with the Choice Scarf on the Chi-Yu and the priority from a few different Pokemon here. Team number 2 pairs Lugia with Screen's Grimmsnarl, which you can also lead the Grimmsnarl next to Incineroar and get a bunch of nerfs to the opponent's damage before you start setting up with the Lugia. And then he has dual grass types here. Amoonguss can give redirection and healing support, of course, and create openings of Spore, give you some cover to Trick Room, and then the Raging Bolt to round things out again. And the last team is also Grimmsnarl Lugia. It also has Amoonguss, but then it has a more offensive component in the classic Reg C pairing of Chi-Yu and Fluttermane, and then the Iron Hands to cover things like Terapagos, giving the team a fighting type that the second team doesn't have, which is something that CloverBells himself said was potentially an issue with the second team. But like I said, we're going to try all 3, so we're going to start with the Lugia Comfey one. Best of one ladder. I've been tanking my rating a little bit lately, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, automatically start timer. Oh, I didn't change my avatar. Hang on. And I'm going to do that thing where I accept open team sheets if my opponent does first, out of respect, but if they don't do it first, then I don't really want to. So, okay, it's a pretty standard Tornogre team. Except the Indeedee, but I feel like I said that last time I saw Tornogre with an Indeedee, so maybe this is just a standard team now that I don't know. I guess it makes some sense. You can run it in a Tail Room kind of way if you have Trick Room on the Indeedee. You can do standard Indeedee stuff, follow me in Helping Hand, keep Kyogre healthy, give it an even crazier, stronger Water Spout. I'm gonna lead Lugia. It's the first game, I want to. I'll bring Rillaboom for the fake out pressure and the pressure in a possible Kyogre. Raging Bolt seems important here. How am I doing against the Archaludon? Not great, huh? Oh, I'm sleeping on this Taunter Shifu. Taunter Shifu could be useful, but I'm going to bring Comfey to this game. See what I can do with that pairing of Lugia and Comfey. Okay, they get the Psychic Terrain up, so I can't fake out anything, and they lead Raging Bolt with a special attack boost. Of course, I have Multiscale on Lugia. It's also Terra Ground, which is pretty cool here, except, of course, that makes it vulnerable when the Kyogre inevitably comes in. So I don't really want to Terrastallize Lugia. I think what I can do is just go for a Calm Mind and U-turn, try to get some chip on the Raging Bolt, and then I can probably bring Comfey in, right? I think priority Floral Healing is going to work on my own Lugia and Psychic Terrain, especially with Lugia being a flying type. Maybe I don't know all of these interactions. But Comfey will take nothing from a Draco Meteor if they go for that, which they actually do. Oh, you know what? They can redirect Floral Healing, though, with Follow Me on Indeedee. But I get Lugia to +2 here. Multiscale is still intact. I cannot Draining Kiss the Raging Bolt, because with Triage it has priority. I can reverse their Trick Room. That seems nice. I don't know if that is nice, actually. This must be a slow Kyogre if that's how they're playing this, mustn't it? They've done a lot of damage to Comfey now. They can't redirect an attack from me because they switched Indeedee out. Do I have Protect on Comfey? I don't. It's Life Orb, Raging Bolt. I think the Kyogre might Protect to get around an Aeroblast, so I kind of want to protect Lugia here. And I think I'm going to switch back out to Rillaboom. And if Kyogre attacks, then we should be able to take it. Especially if it goes for that attack. And then, okay, the Amoonguss can redirect Lugia's attack. Also, it can put Lugia to sleep. I don't really want to put up with either of those things. I think sleep would not be the end of the world here. But I feel pretty safe to just Aeroblast the Amoonguss and Wood Hammer into the Kyogre slot. They could Terrasilize it. Could be Terra Grass Kyogre. But even so, Wood Hammer in Grassy Terrain does a lot of damage. And I want to start nerfing its Water Spout if I can. And of course, Rage Powder doesn't work on Rillaboom. They actually go Raging Bolt here. Amoonguss is gone. Lugia is still not taking damage in this game, which is great for me. You're gonna bring Indeedee in here? Yep. That's okay, I think. Lugia is just so... I could just do what I want with Lugia as long as the multi-scale is intact. I'm just not afraid of anything, especially at +2 special defense now. I'm just gonna Earth Power into the Raging Bolt slot and U-turn into that slot as well. Gone. So now the U-turn will hit Indeedee, and they wasted their Helping Hand. Oh my god, that did so much with the crit. And they forfeit. Perfect. Alright, good start. Let's get another one. They just never attacked Lugia the whole game. I sort of get it. Lugia is not a very strong Pokemon. Maybe it kind of feels like they can ignore it. Although with Comfey next to it in Psychic Terrain, I feel like Lugia was a more important priority for them than Comfey. But as long as they never attacked Lugia and I had the multi-scale up, I just was never afraid of anything that they could do, even if it looked dangerous on paper. So Lugia just did whatever it wanted that game. And once it started attacking, it was GG. I don't know what I'd do into Shadow Rider Clefairy, though, with this team. That's pretty dangerous. There's nothing super threatening to Terra Ground Lugia, though, except the Frostmoth, which I feel like I can handle. What if I just bring Lugia? I don't feel like I need to lead Comfey. I could lead Lugia Rillaboom again. That seems pretty strong. Bring Chi-Yu this time. So I have something to cover the Frostmoth. And they have one Pokemon with Volt Absorb and another one that could have Volt Absorb, which makes me a little uneasy about bringing the Raging Bolt this game. Let's bring Comfey. Let's stick to the Lugia Comfey stuff. Kilowattrel and Thundurus lead. Okay. I mean, that's pretty dangerous, but let's just Terrasilize Lugia right now and get a Calm Mind. Actually, do I even need to? Because I can fake something out. I mean, who knows where a Covert Cloak might be on this team, right? But I still feel safer Terrasilizing Lugia. But I can fake out Thundurus. And then even if they still damage Lugia, which they won't because I actually just double protected their Pokemon. Alright, well I've shown my Terra, but I also got some boosts into two Pokemon that are probably special attackers if they're attackers at all. Rillaboom's not in a great spot here, but I'm also not eager to switch. So I'll go for a U-turn. Into Kilowattrel, so I can break a possible Focus Sash. Tailwind Kilowattrel, and it doesn't... I think it would show me if it had wind power, right? So I think it doesn't have that. Rillaboom went before... No, it didn't. Nope. It did not go before Thundurus. Never mind. Grass Knot didn't do very much to Lugia through multi-scale. I'll just bring Comfey in here. It doesn't feel like a great position for Chi-Yu with the Tailwind up on the other side. But Comfey can just keep Lugia healthy. And let's see what an Aeroblast does to Kilowattrel now at +2. It's Floral Healing. Or I could Draining Kiss it and potentially knock it out. But that's not what I've done. Sludge Bomb. They're trying to poison me? Oh, he missed the Aeroblast. I don't have multi-scale right now, but Lugia is very healthy. I don't really feel like I need it. Let's try to get rid of this Kilowattrel. What are they doing? Are they actually just trying to poison Lugia so that it'll slowly be worn down? Of course, it's getting Grassy Terrain healing now that I've terrestrialized it, and they haven't done any damage to Comfey yet. There's the Calyrex. That could have a Focus Sash. I don't think it's very likely on this team, but it's possible. So let's just Draining Kiss and Aeroblast it. I think we'll take this Astral Barrage. Yeah. Oh, it's Life Orb, even better. I didn't think it was Sash, but I mean, this is a weird team. I can't be sure that I know what they're cooking. Let's just try to get rid of this Clefairy. And I'll heal Lugia back up to multi-scale range. They're going for Sludge Bomb anyway. It's not really doing anything. I don't know why they stopped using Grass Knot. They must think that they need to poison me. Maybe so. Maybe I'd be doing the same thing in their position. I don't know. I'll use Earth Power for the accuracy this time. Actually, yeah, I will do that. And a Helping Hand. Don't really need Floral Healing here. They might forfeit. I still have Chi-Yu in the back. They don't know that I've brought Chi-Yu, but nothing that I can have in the back is good for them. Urshifu is probably what they're hoping for, but even then, those often run a Choice Scarf. It could do a lot of damage to Thundurus before going down. They're going for the, oh, I was gonna guess Grass Knot, but no, they're gonna knock out their own Clefairy. The Earth Power does nothing, but yeah, I can just get Chi-Yu in here, and Aeroblast is going to do some extra damage with Beads of Ruin in play, plus I'm just going to go for Dark Pulse, so that I don't have to worry about Overheat missing. And they forfeit. Okay. Nice. Yeah, Comfey and Lugia, I understand why it's not at the top of the meta or anything, but it's actually looking pretty strong in these two games so far. Got another Calyrex Clefairy, another Shadow Rider Clefairy team here with some pretty stock supports. Lugia Elite is feeling unbeatable right now. I know that Hubris is going to get me eventually, but it's been so good so far. Life Orb, Raging Bolt, I don't love into this. Why don't I just lead Lugia Chi-Yu here? What are they going to do about that? Bring Comfey, and I'll bring Rillaboom. Might want the priority into the Calyrex, or the Electric Resistance into Iron Hands. Alright, they have Fake Out. And I can't terrestrialize both of my Pokemon, which I immediately kind of want to do. However, not an option. But, I mean, how much is Chi-Yu going to take from an Astral Barrage? What if I just terrestrialize Lugia? Calm Mind. Nope. Let's just protect Lugia. Because I think they might Fake Out that slot. If they Fake Out Chi-Yu, it's probably okay. I'm just going to go right for a Snarl. Maybe Dark Pulse into Calyrex is the cooler play, but yeah, Calyrex does that. Kind of what I was thinking it might do. They don't Fake Out anything. And it's Covert Cloak Calyrex. So that's a bit of an issue. They also knock off my Scarf, so Chi-Yu probably takes another Astral Barrage, but I'm locked into Snarl now. No, I'm not. I'm not locked into anything because I just lost the Scarf. So, Terra, Calm Mind, Overheated to Calyrex? I think that works. Oh, it's Calm Mind Calyrex. Oh no. Oh, but we crit it with Overheat. And they forfeit immediately. Oh man. I don't know if I deserve that one, but Lugia is just too strong. Lugia showing whom my parents were favoring when they gave me silver and gave my brother gold all those years ago. Got a Lunala team here. Ooh. Lunala screens. Okay, I'll accept open team sheets. I hope I'm not missing it sometimes when my opponents do that. Tell me if I am, and I'll try to be more alert. Yeah, Calm Mind. Their team as well. Let's do the same lead as last game. I feel like it's decent here too. Helper, of course, has Wide Guard. Gotta be mindful of that. Bring Comfey. Comfey, I feel like could really make the difference, either with priority Draining Kiss to break Shadow Shield, or just to keep Lugia healthy with Floral Healing. And what Urshifu is it? Rapid Strike? We'll bring Rillaboom. Have I brought Raging Bolt to a game yet? Well, that's okay. I'm sure it has its matchups. It's Terra Fairy Lunala, unsurprisingly. It does not have Covert Cloak, though. It has leftovers. But this Urshifu could be faster than my Chi-Yu, since it also has a Scarf. I'm gonna Calm Mind. And I think I'm gonna switch to Rillaboom. And what I could try to do is force this Urshifu off the field, U-turn out, get Chi-Yu back in. They don't have Trick Room on the Lunala. They break my multi-scale, though. So they might just be going for an attack into Lugia. I get the Calm Mind first. They go for their Calm Mind. And actually, they put me in a bad spot by bringing in the Incineroar. That's not ideal. And I'm hesitant to Terrastallize Lugia with the Urshifu potentially coming back in soon. I'm going to protect this turn and try to U-turn out with Rillaboom. Terra Ghost on the Incineroar to avoid a Fake Out. We avoid the Moongeist Beam there, break their Shadow Shield, but it'll be right back up. I do get Chi-Yu in here. Is it going to take a knockoff? Nope, they went for knockoff into Lugia. That's okay, I think. I do get a pretty free Snarl here, I think. I'll try to get another Calm Mind, I think. How many sentences can I end with that? Or I could go for an Aeroblast crit into Lunala after Chi-Yu breaks the Shadow Shield. I don't know what the best play is. I'm just going to try that. Oh, they actually protect. They could knock off Chi-Yu here. Or Lugia. Or they could Parting Shot Lugia. Okay. They get this back in. This is a threat. But I can try to Aeroblast it. And this time I think I'm going to bring Comfey in. They go Grimmsnarl. Yeah, they're pivoting. They're pivoting pretty well around my stuff. It's hard for me to deal with, for sure. I think I might have to Terrastallize Lugia, which makes it so weak to the Urshifu, but these Moongeist Beams are doing too much. So I think I'm just going to go for it. And I'll get some healing and try to get another Calm Mind. If I can get Lugia back up into multi-scale, then... but Surging Strikes being... Oh, avoiding the Thunder Wave is a nice touch. I didn't even check whether they had that. We're back up in multi-scale, but Surging Strikes is... Well, how does Surging Strikes work with multi-scale? Will the damage be weakened on all 3 hits, or just the first one? I'm not actually sure. I think I'm just going to try to keep boosting Lugia, and then... Or I can... Because the thing is... What do they have on Grimmsnarl? They don't have Parting Shot. Okay. They do have Spirit Break. Lugia Still has its Covert Cloak. I'm gonna try to keep boosting for now. And hope that I beat Lunala in the long term with an Aeroblast crit. Basically what it comes down to. Okay, losing Comfey like that was not in the plan. That's really bad. I think I can get Chiyu in here. This will at least force Lunala to protect. If they make the same play as last time, I can get Urshifu with an Aeroblast here. Otherwise, I can Snarl the Lunala. But no, they're just going to play it safe. But I do at least pick up the Grimmsnarl, I think. Yeah. That's something. But the Urshifu is still a giant problem. What's his item? Well, I know its item. It's a Choice Scarf. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm going to go for another Snarl, but I'm also going to go for an Aeroblast into Urshifu. They can knock Chiyu out, but if they do, they probably lose Urshifu. I don't know if this is the right play. The problem is, if I switch to Rillaboom like I've been doing all game, then they can just keep chipping my stuff down with Moongeist Beam. They're going to knock Lugia out. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't think I can beat Incineroar now. Yeah, because Chiyu is locked into Snarl and -1 special attack and can't switch out anymore. So I think I just lose to Incineroar, if not Lunala. But let's see what we can do. Oh, I forgot the Incineroar is a Ghost type now. Wait, that does change things a bit. A little bit, right? That does change things a little bit. It's Grassy? I don't know if Grassy Glide is going to do enough into the Incineroar. Do they have Flare Blitz? No. Let's go Woodhammer into the Incineroar slot and quick Snarl. Okay, they get their Fake out there. But Lunala is back at neutral special attack. Chiyu survives the turn. Snarl did a lot to Incineroar. Enough to knock it out here. Incineroar does not have Protect. Woodhammer into Lunala and Snarl. Lunala protects. I think Incineroar goes down here. It does. They get Urshifu back in. Urshifu's best attack into Rillaboom is Close Combat. Also, it can only attack one of my Pokemon this turn. I'm just going to try to get rid of it. They do finish Chiyu off. Does Rillaboom win this endgame? I'm not confident that it does. Ooh, especially with that recoil damage. How much did that Moongeist Beam do? Not enough to KO, but they have Shadow Shield up. And I think I think I'm gonna knock myself out with Woodhammer recoil. So I don't think we win this. Maybe there was a better way to play that in game, but I think the Lunala was just too strong. I think they had me, but we gave it a good effort. And now we're gonna switch to the second Lugia team, which has its own Grimmsnarl screens and has Amoonguss giving support instead of Comfey. Got a Miraidon Iron Bundle team. I feel like I haven't seen one of these in a while. Got a Rain component too, I assume, with the Pelipper and the Landorus probably having Sandsear Storm, which Lugia is not worried about. Lugia is worried about this Iron Hands to an extent, and this bundle, and this Miraidon. Lugia can go Terra Ground, but then that makes it vulnerable to their two water types, so it's going to be an interesting one for sure. There's also Covert Cloak Lugia. Yeah, CloverBells was saying in his video that he's pretty sure Covert Cloak is the best item on Lugia right now. I see the case for it. I'm just going to do this. I see the case for it, but I personally find it kind of hard to give up leftovers. I don't know. I'll bring these four. Maybe I'm a little vulnerable to the two water types that also have types that are strong against grass, but we'll see how it goes. We're going to go Terra Ground Lugia right off the bat here and try to get a Calm Mind. It will continue to be weak to Ice, but with multi-scale up, hopefully that'll be okay. And we'll also... I got Thunder Wave the bundle also. I think I'm down to do that. The bundle is a lot less threatening if I nerf its speed. I think that's more valuable than a light screen right now. Hopefully I get a light screen next turn. Protect. So light screen was the call, I guess. I thought they were going to be more aggressive than that. Oh, but they went for discharge. Okay. And they knock out Grimmsnarl, so I don't get any screens this game. I can get my terrain up now, though. And Lugia will benefit now that I've turned off its flying type. Let's go for another Calm Mind and threaten the Iron Bundle out of here. Woodhammer should hit whatever comes in hard. They don't have a grass resist except Miraidon, which was the one thing they couldn't switch in there. But now I've got +2 Lugia. We knocked Bundle down to its Sash. What does it do? I'd already blinded, already used Icy Wind. Covert Cloak Lugia doesn't care about that. I feel like I can even go for a third Calm Mind here and Grassy Glide into the Bundle slot. I don't know if it stays in, but forcing it to switch is also good news for me here. Oh, I forgot about the Armor Tail. Oh, that was a really amateurish play right there. I threw him in my Rillaboom. They're going to get terrain control for the rest of the game. Also, it's now a 4 versus 2, but Lugia should be hard for them to break at this point, I would think. I'll try to get rid of this bundle properly this time, and I'll just protect Amoonguss for now. Don't need it taking a freeze dry like that. And, okay, Psychic Noise. Alright, that is an issue. Because I would like Amoonguss to sit on the field and keep Lugia healthy. They threaten, what's it called? I was gonna say Calm Mind. They threaten Fake Out here. I'll just try to hit the Farigiraf. And honestly, I might as well just try for the double protect on Amoonguss, because I think they're going to Fake It out. Oh, we get it. I was wrong, they faked Lugia out, but Covert Cloak says that doesn't matter. I think I've been forgetting this entire video so far that Covert Cloak blocks Fake Out flinches. That's actually huge. And now they can't threaten the Psychic Noise anymore. I'm actually going to Earth Power, because it can catch Miraidon on the switch, and alternatively it won't miss Farigiraf. And I can pretty safely Spore into the Iron Hands, I think. They just let Farigiraf go down. That Drain Punch isn't doing very much through Multiscale. They get Miraidon here. We got the Iron Hands to sleep before the Electric Terrain went up, and I think I can pretty safely Earth Power and Rage Powder redirect a possible Draco Meteor. I mean, it would have to be Draco Meteor, unless they have Dragon Pulse, but most don't, I think. Okay, that knocks Amoonguss clean out, but they trade Miraidon for that. I don't think that's a good trade for them. And we should be able to just finish the Iron Hands off here. Yep. Perfect. Okay. That was a good start for this team, even though Grimmsnarl didn't do anything useful. That still was pretty solid. This is a Sun team with Exeggutor, which I love to see. Gouging Fire and Walking Wake, which I love to see. This team gets a ton of style points, but hopefully it won't get rating points. But I really like it at a glance. Just for how cool the Pokemon are. This feels like a game where Incineroar or Grimmsnarl lead is pretty strong. Bring Lugia for sure, and I don't love Raging Bolt here, even though Raging Bolt can be strong into a Sun team since it has Photosynthesis. I don't love it into the 2 ground types. And 2 other electric resists. Don't know that I like Rillaboom here either, though. I think the call might be Amoonguss. Amoonguss isn't especially strong into these Pokemon either, but of course it can warp the way they have to play against me, because it threatens Spore into anything except Exeggutor. Yeah, Amoonguss is, I think, more immediately dangerous once it comes onto the field than either Raging Bolt or Rillaboom into this team. And it can buy, in the same kind of way that in that first game that I played in this video, my opponent ignored Lugia, and that meant that it could just do whatever it wanted. Having a Mungus on the field can buy Lugia time to set up or finally attack. I am making myself rely on Lugia a fair bit for damage here. Oh, that sucks. They agreed to open team sheets right at the end, and you saw it. I went to click on it, but it was too late because the battle started. So, my bad. Well, not my bad. They should have agreed earlier. I would have done it too, but I wanted to do the right thing there, but I couldn't do it. I'm gonna set a light screen here because you know, the Walking Wake is threatening damage, or you know what? I'll set a Reflect and I'll fake out the Walking Wake. That way we get the double nerf on the physical damage from the Landorus, and then we can get light screen next turn. That's more efficient, I think. A Thunder Wave into Walking Wake would also be pretty good, but Walking Wake is not that scary, I think, into Lugia. There's the Gouging Fire. We can get our light screen here, and... I wonder if this is a Howl set, like the Gouging Fire stuff that I used to use. I'll Parting Shot Walking Wake. Oh, they switched to Groudon. Probably Clear Amulet. So, good thing I didn't Parting Shot that slot. That Hydro Steam still does so much through the light screen. But, get Lugia in here. Lugia is not terribly afraid of Groudon. -1 Walking Wake in light screen, especially when I start setting Calm Minds up, is not great for them either. I will try to Thunder Wave it, I might as well, and it's time to go for that Calm Mind. I can... Well, I was going to say I could still get another Intimidate later in the game. That is true into Gouging Fire, but it must be Clear Amulet Groudon, right? Oh, full para right away. That's unfortunate for my opponent. I don't know that Heat Crash does that much to Lugia. Lugia can't be especially light, can it? I wouldn't think so. I kind of want to switch Grimmsnarl out, but there's nobody I want to switch in, so I'll just Spirit Break into the Walking Wake and Calm Mind again. Landorus coming in, I guess can threaten a Rock Slide, probably. They're just leaving Walking Wake in. At this point, heavily nerfed. I would like to get a Mungus on the field. Has Walking Wake clicked Hydro Steam every turn? Is it choiced? I think it's choiced. So, and they've already Terrasalized it, so they can't Terrasilize Landorus. I think I can switch a Mungus in here. I do want to be able to start healing Lugia. And I'm just going to Aeroblast into the Landorus slot. I'm really not that afraid of the Walking Wake at this point. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, that does allow something in to threaten a Mungus, so that was a downside of that play. Maybe I got a little impatient there. But Lugia is really getting chipped down, and I want to start doing damage back. What's the Terra type on this Amoonguss? Oh, perfect. Terra Water Amoonguss, Pollen Puff into Lugia. Earth Power into Gouging Fire. I don't think Lugia will drop this turn. Never mind, it does. Okay, all of a sudden this took a bad turn for me, because I don't really have much more damage left. Yeah. Okay, letting Lugia go down there was not the call. Maybe it'll let me heal Incineroar? Fake out the Walking Wake. Oh, they go Burning Bulwark, so they do let me heal Incineroar. Am I going to win this with Incineroar? I don't love the chances, but I think they're non-zero. I kind of want to switch Grimmsnarl back in, get my screens back up, and get some Regenerator on Amoonguss. I could threaten a Spore into Groudon later that way. Do I need to Spore Gouging Fire here, though? I need to do something about this Gouging Fire. I'll go for a Spore into it, and I'll go for a Knockoff into its slot. Oh, there's the Groudon. Wait, this might actually be good, because... No, I don't think I can beat the Groudon. But I'll try. gonna get Incineroar out of here. Try to put the Groudon to sleep if they'll let me. Oh, Amoonguss does survive the Precipice Blades, so we do get the Groudon to sleep. Now I guess I pivot Incineroar back in, set a Reflect. Try to knock off the Groudon. But things are about to start waking up. Oh, I still have Reflect up. I just got confused by the Showdown background. The way that it doesn't... Oh, I can still see the Reflect. It's just kind of blending into the sunlight. Well, that's my bad. I can try to Parting Shot the Groudon this turn. I need it to stay asleep, though. I need maximum sleep turns for this play to work. And just try to get damage on the Gouging Fire, I guess. Oh, we do get the maximum sleep turns. That's something. That Spirit Break did reasonable damage. They don't have the sun anymore. I'm going to pivot Incineroar right back in. Am I? That's so dangerous, though, because of the Precipice Blades. Well, maybe I'm just counting on Precipice Blades to miss at this point. I want to get rid of this Gouging Fire still. High horsepower, and it does miss. Okay, that's big. Do I have a play here? I could try to Will-O-Wisp the Groudon. It's high risk. I think it's necessary, and let's see if we can knock out this Gouging Fire. They do land the Precipice Blades into Incineroar this time, and I think that'll be the game. Well, let's see if I can put Groudon back to sleep. And I'll get my Reflect back up. Okay. No, they knock out Amoonguss. That'll do it. Grimmsnarl is not 1v2ing this. No. Okay, well, that was an interesting game, and I like their team a lot, so what can you do? On to Lugia team number 3, the more aggressive Grimmsnarl screens version with the Iron Hands for fighting type coverage. Still got the Amoonguss in the healer role. And we're back to facing Shadow Rider Calyrex, but this is a different kind of Shadow Rider Calyrex team from what I was seeing before. The Chi-Yu still feels very strong here. The Terra Ground Lugia seems pretty good here right off the bat, assuming it's still Covert Cloak. It is. So let's just lead Lugia Chi-Yu. If they lead something to stop that, maybe I should lead Lugia Grimmsnarl. Chi-Yu in the back. I kind of like Fluttermane here. I feel a little weird not bringing Amoonguss, but I'm going to try it. I'll bring Fluttermane. Okay, they lead Cat Mushroom. There's a lot that they can do with that lead. But one thing they can't do is flinch Lugia. We remember that now. They can put Lugia to sleep. Unfortunately. They can do that. I'm gonna go for a... I don't know which screen I want, because Reflect is more immediately useful, but if they put Grimmsnarl to sleep, then I might regret not having a light screen later. But with Lugia going for Calm Mind, I think I'm okay to click Reflect. And that'll nerf the damage from a knockoff if they go for that. They do fake out Grimmsnarl. Terra Water immediately on the Amoonguss. Are they going to put Lugia to sleep? Nope, they're going to put Grimmsnarl to sleep. Of course, now they can put Lugia to sleep, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. And that Terra Water is actually kind of a problem, because not only is it now not weak to Aeroblast, it's also not weak to fire attacks from Chi-Yu. But I think I'm going to be patient here. I think I'm just going to Calm Mind, and if they put me to sleep, they put me to sleep. Honestly, I might just want to Terastallize Lugia immediately so that it takes less damage from a possible knockoff. I think I am going to do that. And I'm still going to try to get that Reflect. We're just going to try to stall out sleep turns this game instead of Because there's not really a whole lot I can do to avoid going to sleep. However, since I didn't bring Amoonguss, I don't really have recovery on Lugia, so there definitely is some inherent risk to this way of playing it, but we're just going to take the mandatory sleep turn. They're staying in. Parting shot. Okay. Need a Grimmsnarl. Interesting choice. They bring in Iron Hands. I mean, oh, they have Clear Smog on Amoonguss. I can't set up on it. That was their game all along, huh? Okay, I just need to chip this Amoonguss, I think. Check this turn. Can I finally get that Reflect? Nope, because they fake out Grimmsnarl. They gonna put it back to sleep? That would be funny. They have Grass Knot into my ground type Lugia? What do I even do here? I'm gonna switch to Flutter Mane. I don't know, dude. I've just thrown away more than half of Lugia's HP trying to set up on Clear Smog and turning myself into a grass type on Grass Knot, a ground type on Grass Knot. We're gonna go to this mode. We're gonna live and die by this mode. Because I've got nothing else at this point. Moonblast. Dark Pulse. Let's just try to get this out of here. Watch them switch it out and preserve it. No? Okay. It survives, though. And they have Heavy Slam on the Iron Hands. They just have everything for everything I can throw at them. Sometimes the ladder goes that way. You know what? I'm going to go back to Calm Mind because the Amoonguss can't safely clear Smog anymore. Chi-Yu is locked into Dark Pulse for the rest of the game, which is a big problem into these two. They're probably just going to knock it out this turn anyway. Nope, they went for Lugia. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty doomed at this point. Which? Nope. Oh, the Chi-Yu survives one Drain Punch. It's not going to survive another one. Flinch? Nope. Alright, I have a Lugia and a Dream. Alright, I'll Aeroblast the Amoonguss and hope the Iron Hands flinches. Just, you know, on its own initiative. What are they thinking about? Yeah, we finally knocked the Amoonguss out. The Iron Hands does not just go ahead and flinch by itself for me. We dropped the game. Well, that's best of one ladder. You can't prepare for everything. But overall, I had a lot of fun with these teams. I didn't get the greatest look at the third team, but the first two, I thought were pretty solid. I had some good games there with them. And Lugia might not be a top-tier restricted Pokemon, but we definitely showed that if the opponent doesn't take it seriously, it can run away with a game. So, you know, justice for my favorite restricted Pokemon and the mascot of my very first Pokemon game. Ho-Oh didn't quite come through for me the way that I wanted, but I'm feeling pretty good about the work that Lugia has put in. And that's all there is to say at this point. See you next time.